All right. What is up? First to the floor. First Celtics late night of the season. Joined by Dan Greenberg, Greeny of Barstool Sports. I mean, this was just the gods delivered us a beautiful Celtics win. I know it's a complicated season emotionally, but it
Yeah.
feels good to win a big national TV game against Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs. Simple as that.
It's honestly, and I've been interested to see how you've been handling things, these first 4 games, because it's just such a fascinating season because it's so deeply rooted in the unknown. And no matter what position you have in what you think the Celtics should do, there's no wrong answer, right? So it's like if you are someone who believes that this season should be about a pick, then, a night like tonight, you could say hurt you. But on the flip side, part of this season is finding out which one of these unproven guys can hit and can be part of your future. So if you're getting games where those young unproven players are helping you beat contenders in the East, how do you then turn around and say that that's a bad thing when that's also one of the goals of the season? So it's like a game by game, possession by possession, quarter by quarter. Like when they look like shit, I'm like, oh, nice. This pick is going to rule.
Yeah.
And then when they play like tonight, I'm like, oh my God, Josh Minot is the reserve wing that's going to catapult. It feels like a cop out because there should be a definitive, this is good, this is bad, but there's not.
There's not. There really isn't. And like my emotional experience watching is like when they start to play well, I just want them to keep playing well.
Right.
But then in the fourth quarter, even tonight, I wanted to win this game, but it's like, oh God, here comes Donovan Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
He missed a 3, which would have cut it to 7 with
the
like
pull
5
up,
minutes.
the transition pull up 3. Yeah, the transition pull up 3. Yeah.
In that moment, I actually wanted the ball to go in, but then he missed. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's win the game.
Yeah, it's like, but that's why you just can't stress enough. There's no, you're not wrong for feeling like, hey, a pick, like this is a good outcome, but you're also not wrong to be watching them play well and want to win because I don't know, I enjoy when the Celtics play well and they win, especially when these wins are being, not caused by, but major contributions are from guys like Minot, guys like Kada, players that fit your timeline for the next iteration of the roster who, let's be honest, you needed players to emerge from that group to be real rotation players. Like your roster is going to be just as expensive next year as it was this year, right? Like you only have 2 options to add cheap, playable young talent. High in the draft or these buy low minimum young unproven players. If you are going to end up winning and you're going to be in the middle of the first round and those draft players may not be available to you, then it is imperative that the Kadas and the Minots and the Ugos, they all need to be hits because those are your young, inflection of offense, inflection of defense, youth, all that stuff. So it's like, again, it feels like a cop out, but there's really no bad outcome.
No, but that's been our stance as well. We talked about the tanking and the philosophy of it last episode, and we said we understand the people that want to just have honor, have Celtics pride, and push for mid-40s, and we obviously understand the tank philosophy as well. It's the inability to see either side, which is back to your cop out thing that we had a problem with, but. Minot, Kada playing well. This is why this season I've been saying is a win-win. If they get to 42, 43 wins, it's going to be because Kada is better than people
thought.
Because if Kada and Josh Minot did not play well in both tonight's game and the Pelicans game, we'd be 0-5.
That's real. That's tonight was more real, I guess, in the sense that the Cavs are a real team and the Pelicans maybe destined for the lottery, right? This was their, they were competitive against the Pistons, but their Achilles heel got them. They were competitive against the Sixers, but their Achilles heel got them. They got blown out by the Knicks. So it's like your Eastern Conference measuring stick games, you had failed essentially to open the season. Tonight was your, hey, if we can just be average to below average on the glass. I mean, today they were good, but like, or can just be not 30th in the NBA. And then if you can also just not miss every shot that you take and you get your normal contribution from your championship core that you know is good, then a win like tonight is way more encouraging than what we saw against the Pelicans. Because in theory, you may have to see the Cavs down the road, if not this year, then next year. And I just think these are the only thing that I was thinking about this last night. It's like the only bad scenario would be if they're winning, but it's only on the backs of the championship core. Like,
it's like Jalen's playing 38 minutes a night. Yeah.
Right. Like if you're getting nothing from Keita, Minot, Ugo, like all your unprovens, if they're bad, but you're still finding ways to win, then you're like, okay, now you're middling because you're going to have a dog shit pick and you don't have any, young unproven hit. But if you're winning with those guys contributing, that can be just as valuable to the immediate future of the roster than your lottery pick.
Yeah, 100%. Like if you're running Derek, Pritchard, and Jalen into the ground, and that's how you're scraping together 42 wins, then that's a problem. Jalen only played 31-50 tonight. Missoula stole him extra rest in this game, which is huge. Like that's been a big thing for us. Like don't run Jalen in particular into the ground. It's probably been too long since we've really dove into it, so we've danced around it. But Josh Minot, let's hear from the man himself from the post game here.
And pulling down some huge rebounds in the fourth quarter. What were you trying to do coming in and playing through crunch time?
Man, I'm just trying to do what people expect from me. This energy, man. I just love this place so much, man. Like this place just brings me so much happiness. My teammates, coaches, the staff. Talking like from top to bottom. I mean, the whole organization, man. It's just the best thing to be here, man. I can't thank God enough.
Man, I'm in love, man. I mean, I can't even stand up right now. Like what?
Hilarious, dude.
Unbelievable.
He just needs to replace the God with Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens, another happy customer. Brad Stevens has saved another soldier from the end of a rotation. He's been awesome, dude. And this is a type of player that you need with Jalen and Jason moving into their 30s, with Jason coming off the Achilles. Like we felt it in those first few games. How Jason Tatum not being here, we knew that. But having a dude that can come in at the 3/4 spot and grab 14 rebounds and just play with energy.
This is the need. This is what you had to find. 3-4 hybrid who can hit an open three, who can rebound, who has length, who can guard up, who can guard down. Like this is the position that they needed to fill. And on back-to-back nights, he's looked like a guy that can fill that reserve wing role. Like the roster needs it. And then if you also think and add in Ugo and his length and his versatility defensively, like imagine that foursome of wings. Like that's enough. If this is the level, or if you can expect like 75 to 80%, 14 rebounds is insane. But like, the overall takeaway of his performance of active, gets out in transition. I mean, he had Evan Mobley in jail on multiple occasions. So he's guarding up. He's guarding down. We're seeing him guard ball handlers. Like he makes the minimum and you have him next year for $2 million. Like that's exactly what Brad Stevens had to find.
Look at this, man. We got him locking up Evan Mobley.
Look at that. That's literally, if they had that last year against the Knicks, they win that series.
Yeah, 100%. I think Minot and a healthy Sam Hauser, man.
Same thing with
back.
him too. Right.
Yeah. People forget he hurt his ankle in the first quarter.
Game one, right? Yeah,
game one of the Knicks series. But Josh Minot, dude, the legit 6'9", the legit 7-foot wingspan, crazy athleticism, a dude that has a motor that plays like this. Because now you can start to envision a lineup of, wow, Derek, Jason, Jalen, Minot as like your perimeter guys. That's just, a lot of length, a lot of size, and then big man is still going to be something we're searching for. But
I mean, just think of putting Tatum at the 5 and Minot at the 4.
They tried it tonight. Joe went to a small lineup late in that. Was it the fourth quarter? Because he didn't want to go back to Gaza, which was the correct choice.
Was it Tillman? It was Tillman was the
no. It was Jalen Minot.
Okay,
as like your 4-5.
Oh, okay.
And Hauser was your 3 or whatever.
Your 3. Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, that's interesting because Joe's been very resistant to do a Jason Jalen.
Jason at the 5, yeah.
Which makes sense when you've got a big rotation of Al Horford, Luke Cornett, and Kristaps Porzingis. I can understand that. I've been screaming that I would like to see it. So it's good to see that Joe is willing to do it when the personnel actually calls for it, because I thought Gaza was okay tonight, but I didn't want to see him in the fourth quarter if you're trying to win this game, because
but you were almost like out of when it was kind of in the balance. This was kind of similar to the Pelicans game where like things were kind of in the balance midway through the fourth quarter. And then again, this is not going to count as a clutch time win, but they had to execute in the fourth quarter on both ends of the floor to win. What more could I ask for a team that literally was like the worst fourth quarter team on the planet just a season ago with the roster that they had? Like, I don't need people say, oh, they're bad late in games. Like, this is just as valuable to me because, you know, Donovan Mitchell can go on an 8-0 run by himself in 2 seconds. Like, the fact that he missed 2 free throws and then turned it over in transition, like, those were gigantic prayers. So you then had to capitalize on that, and then you did. So what am I to be unhappy about?
Side note on Donovan Mitchell, this fucking guy, dude, like, the dude hasn't dropped below 30 points against the Boston Celtics in
he has the all-time record. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All time. So I'm looking at it here. They've updated it for today already. This is last games. 41, 31, 35, 35, 31, 29, 40, 44. And of course, the year
15.
we're actually trying to tank, whatever, he has 15. Nice fucking joke by that.
Unbelievable.
Guy as a side note. But yeah, dude, just to end it on my note, it's a crazy stat line. 11 points, 14 rebounds, 5 of which of them were offensive, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, only 1 turnover.
+5. Yep, +5, I think, +6.
Right here. So, yeah, man, great game from him. The other guy.
And it was right away, too. Like, in the first 90 seconds of the game, he had a block, like an offensive rebound, a transition bucket, like within the first night. So that was evident right in the preseason. It's just he plays impactful minutes is how I would describe it. Like, he's not just out there for cardio. He doesn't just run to the corner and hope someone passes him the ball. Like, how many times do we see him just be active on the offensive glass and poke it loose for a scramble and then a bucket? Like, those are the types of things that they don't seem like a big deal. But when you're doing those things in a lineup that includes Jason Tatum, you win a championship.
Having
a guy that's what we're talking. Like, I just don't want to lose perspective of that. Like, that's what this whole thing is about, is can you find guys that can do shit that when Tatum is back will help you win a championship? Impactful minutes, I would say, is one of those things.
I'm excited for Minot, man. Like, Arthur tonight, he's played like 87 minutes, 90 minutes. He played 276 minutes last season.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's going to eclipse his last season's total minutes in like the first 10 games of the season.
I was going to say by mid-November, if he as long as he's healthy.
And he's only 22.
But you know what? This is what Brad had to find.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, you know, his strength is clearly identifying untapped NBA potential, right? Like, he found Derek, found Luke, he found Kata. You know, I almost feel Hauser too. I almost feel more confident in him finding a guy like Minot, who's already been in the NBA, than a pick, right? So that's why I'm almost saying if you draft in the lottery, is that player going to give you 11, 14, 3, 2? You know, like what Minot did tonight is in theory what you want next year's first round pick to give you. So if you're going to get that anyways, then I don't know. That's what makes me think like, all right, if your pick is going to be a little shitty, then as long as he's a hit, it balances it out.
It's interesting. I wonder where he would be drafted in the most recent draft, considering what if you have these 5 games now to look at, because he's still old for a prospect, but still
young in life.
Prospect age.
Right.
It's really exciting. So Neemias Queta, another good game. He strung 2 together now, and against the Pelicans, I was like, all right, DeAndre Jordan played 12 minutes. You know, how serious can I really take that performance from Queta? He went against the Defensive Player of the Year tonight, who made All NBA, and Jared Allen. And I think he won the matchup. I thought Evan Mobley was a disaster tonight. 7 for 19. Queta kind of had him legitimately in hell. Queta was a plus 25 team high, 10 points, 13 boards, and he defensive rebounded. That's the big thing with Queta. He's good on the offensive glass. Defensive rebounding has been a weakness, I think, for him since he's been getting real minutes. I loved seeing that tonight. And then protecting the rim, he didn't have any blocks, but I thought that he was active, and the drop coverage has been solid. And if we can get out of this season where you think of him as like a really good backup big man, like a low-end starter, that would be just far exceeded my expectations. We'll see. We're 5 games in, but 2 games in a row, I've really liked what I've seen from Queta.
The only concern I have is, like, yes, the Cavs have 2 7-footers, but they're not the archetype of big man that give Queta trouble. He and where he rebounded today, because I don't think that they're particularly good rebounding bigs in Cleveland. You look at how he struggled against someone like Duran, the stuff against the Knicks size and their offensive rebounding. I think of, Philly and Embiid and that kind of stuff. Like, I still think there are, and I think Houston's going to be a great test for this, because
oh boy,
he needs to show that he can hold down the defensive glass against big bruising. Like, DeAndre Jordan came in and dominated his minutes.
Yes.
He's a big bruising, aggressive center. So I think he can handle 7-footers like Mobley and Allen, who aren't physically imposing, tough, physical, are going to show. Like, Duran just dominated him and just toss them aside like children. So it's like, this is another encouraging step, but I don't know if I'm ready to say he's ready to shore up the defensive rebounding issue, because bigs with size and physicality, especially late in the fourth quarter, are still getting whatever they want at the rim.
I'm definitely not ready to say that he has fixed our 29th ranked defensive rebounding problem coming into tonight.
Yeah.
I will say it's good to see, and I do wonder, the Cavs felt a little, we were just hoping to get this win because the Celtics aren't as good.
We've been there, right? We've seen the Celtics lose a game like this. They even talked about it on the broadcast, looking ahead towards March. They thought, we're going to go in there, we're going to make a ton of threes, and the Celtics will just quit because they're having a bad start to the season. And then it turned out that the Celtics finally had their first magnet ball of the year, and they were able to punch back. And once that happens, you don't have the momentum and you lose by 20. Like, I've seen the Celtics lose this exact game 1,000 times in my life.
Yeah, this is classic, especially when they go on that heated a start. You're almost like you're Cleveland. I thought all game from then on, the whole Cavs team was taking horrific jump shots, like transition pull-ups from like DeAndre Hunter and Lonzo Ball that were contested. And I'm like, you guys are losing this game, or right behind. A side thing that's fun in this season is how upset teams like the Cavs, if you do lose to this Celtics team, gets. Like, this guy, he's a Cavs radio guy, Mikey McNuggets. There is no world where the Cavs should be giving up 70 points and a half to the Celtics team. Does that sound like something that we've tweeted out in the previous 4 seasons? As
like the Miami Heat just made 25 threes in the first half, 100%. Or like it's some random game against the Blazers on a weird West Coast late night trip where you're like,
Jarris Walker has 6 threes.
Yeah, it's like a getaway game, and you're like, all right, let's just make 20 threes and be done with it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and like, man, they were absurdly hot to start too. They were 10 for 12 in the first quarter. Donovan Mitchell hit that buzzer beater, and you're like, oh, this is going to be one of those Cavs magnet ball games, but it wasn't. But yeah, so I'm not willing to say with Cater that we fixed our defensive rebounding thing. One, it's so early in the season. We'll see how serious this Cavs team was taking it. Steven Adams is a different beast. Like, that team is incredibly physical. There could also be a piece of this where the Celtics, yeah, it's fun to Joe Mazzulla to be yanking guys in the preseason when they give up an offensive rebound. Is that actually sticking with guys? Do they fully understand how important defensive rebounding is until you get into the trenches and you go down 1-3 to start the season? You're like, our season's going to be over in a week if we don't start rebounding the ball, and maybe they get better.
I just want to see it. I just need to see it. Like, the Pelicans were a good offensive rebounding team, but they didn't have Zion, so it's like that kind of went out the window. The Cavs are 17th in the NBA in offensive rebounding heading into tonight. No surprise, it's just weird because it's like, it's not like the Celtics can never rebound. It's just that when they're playing against teams who are really good at offensive rebounding and who are physical and who, attack the glass, that's when they could potentially struggle. So I want to see if it's any better against Philly on Friday. And then I want to see how it looks against Houston, who's an unbelievable offensive, like Steven Adams is literally an offensive rebounding god. Like, that's a 6'10" lineup, 2 through 5. So, and then, the Thompson twins, you just had to deal with that in Detroit, even though he's only 6'8", 6'9", he's super athletic. He's crashing the glass. So it's like, I want to be encouraged by these last two games. I want to say that they understand the importance of rebounding, because how could you not? But I do just need to see it against teams that are a little bit more of a threat in that department to see if it's really translated.
Yeah, no, I'm not, we could very easily be sitting here after losing the Sixers and the Rockets game. I don't think that would surprise anybody. In Philly, the Sixers have been playing as good as anybody. I mean, in hindsight, only losing by 1 to Philly actually looks pretty good now. Embiid's looked a lot better since that first game. Maxey and Edgecombe. Edgecombe is kind of the reason why
I know, but that's what I mean.
And then you go back the other way.
You go back the other way, because it's like, I would love a VJ Edgecombe on.
Oh my God,
playing next to Tatum and Brown. You know what I mean? So and then you're not wrong for thinking that, but you're also not wrong for being like, I would love to get revenge on Philly and make up for opening night and win that game. There's nothing wrong with that either.
And we'll be changing our mind every possession for the next 77 games. Jaylen Brown, kind of having a masterful season scoring the ball now.
The efficiency, I think, is the efficiency is the biggest jump out, just because you would have thought no Tatum, worse spacing, more defensive attention. But I just think he's been so good at picking his spots. I think he's really made an effort to bring back the 2024 mid-range, approach. He's taking, I think it's right around 5 threes a game, give or take.
6.4 now.
Okay, so now it's gone up a little bit, but it's still not like, he's not trying to be Jason Tatum taking 8 to 10 with, he's playing to his strengths. And it's the only thing I would say is I'm a little surprised, and maybe it's just because they're so inept of shot making right now, that his assist numbers have been relatively the same. There hasn't really been a jump in his raw assist numbers. He had the high potential assist opener, but I feel like they've needed him for his shot making ever since that game. And the turnovers are obviously a little high. I think he's around 3.8, 3.6.
Yeah.
That's still a little high, but you have a good week, and maybe that gets down to 3.2, 3.1, and that's more manageable.
I think for Jaylen, my number for turnovers for him has been under 4. If you can get out of this season, Jaylen under 4, I think that just means he will have taken a playmaking step forward. I think that the overall assists probably do come up once Pritchard and Derek start hitting a couple shots. But the biggest difference with the offense is you don't have Jason. The swing driving kick game is not as easily. It's not as accessible without Jason Tatum, which is not a surprise. We knew that would happen.
Yeah, but I mean, you watch them offensively; they are not creating an advantage at all. Nobody's getting by their man. Like, there's no drive to the paint. Even when teams rotate, they're still able to recover. Like, look at how tough Derek White's shot quality is. Even Jalen's taking these pull-up jumpers that are contested, right? Like, we haven't seen him getting fouled on these mid-range pull-ups in years because the spacing has been so good that everyone could just operate, and he's such a good, shot creator. But when the defense is just packing the paint, I mean, how many times can I watch Derek and Peyton just not be able to get by their guys right now? You can only run a high screen so many times.
Yeah.
And then if the big is just going to help off Kada or Tillman or Garza, like, that makes it even harder for the ball handler off pick and roll. So I don't know how they solve that. That's going to plague their offense all year without Tatum. Like, you are seeing why other offenses in the NBA aren't as good as the one that has Jason Tatum. It's simple.
Like the catch and shoot numbers are down a little bit because of Porzingis and Horford, but they're down because Tatum is not. They don't have the advantage creator, and very few teams do have the advantage creator that Jason Tatum was. But Jalen is doing a better job maybe than I thought he could. We're early here, but 27 points per game on 64% true shooting. That's probably going to come down to an extent. Like, he's shooting the 47% from three right now. But if we're looking at things to take into the next iteration of contenders, can Jaylen Brown's 3-point shot come back to just that 35, 36% range?
That's all I need. That's all you need.
And so far, it looks really good to me. And I don't know, he looked a little bit better physically to me tonight. I know the hamstring thing has been plaguing him, and he said that the first 2 weeks is the hardest, which is obvious with an injury. So hopefully, like, if we can get out of, I mean, is he going to play again in this back-to-back this weekend against?
It's Philly, Houston, right?
He probably will.
He probably will. I mean, the
NBA schedule is just such an insane thing.
It is, but that's also like, that's what makes the Celtics stars so incredible is they play. They play. Like, what more could I ask? Especially, and the more I've been thinking about it is like, because I thought the same thing. I'm like, that's a tough back-to-back. You just had like 5 and 7 night, whatever it was. Yeah. But assuming the role of the number one for the Boston Celtics, the guy who assumes that role plays every night. So if you're going to be in that role, you play every night. And I think it's so early, and he's still setting that tone of this is his first shot in that role. He's not going to load manage. As long as he's medically cleared, he's going to play. And I think that's the good tone setter that you want from the leader of your team.
I wonder if they win the Philly game, if then they feel like they can take a breath. But I think it's more likely that he plays. And you can never fault Jaylen Brown on his warrior mentality. That's for sure. Mentioned Derek White. His life is so much harder.
It's hell right now.
He 5 for 20, 3 for 12 from three. Just the shot difficulty is bonkers. And I know that he can make some of those shots, but he's not able to get into a rhythm. It's like in 2K, right? You got to make the easy ones. You build your takeover meter, and then you can't miss. He's not able to build up his takeover meter right now without Jay. Like, he's kind of playing the Tatum role in that he's taking 11 threes a game.
He's getting the end of shot clocks. Yeah, the end of shot clock prayers. It's a tough balance because it's like you need his scoring, but the way that he is best able to score, you now can no longer do. You know what I mean? Like, Peyton has his limitations as an on-ball shot creator. If Jaylen can't do it every possession, he's the only one left that can do it when Simons isn't on the floor. So the change in his shot profile and just you're moving from a swing, catch and shoot to now you are a primary on-ball shot creator. Those are just two wildly separate ways to go about being a basketball player. And I just think you're just seeing him not only figure it out, but also the way teams are guarding him. Like, and this is something that I asked him on. I think they're going to ask it on the next podcast. Is like, what is he seeing from defenses of how they're guarding him differently from before? Like, what is it just the spacing is different. Are they trapping him more? Is it a ball pressure thing? Like, what is it? Because it just does not feel like anything he does is easy. Like, he has never had an easy offensive possession.
It's probably all of the above on top of he's getting the better defender on your average possession more so than he was before, where it was like number 1 goes to Tatum, number 2 goes to Jalen, and number 3 goes to maybe Drew or maybe Derek. But it's like maybe sometimes maybe Porzingis. It's like Derek was living a charmed. Everyone was living a charmed existence over the past 2 seasons in particular. I do think he'll settle in. It can't be this bad. I don't think he's shooting.
I mean, this is December. Yeah, this is December and January of last year. Is basically all it is.
It's funny. He is still second in the team in overall plus minus because he's Derek.
Well, he's Derek White. Because he's Derek White. Yeah.
So that's great. I do think that'll come up. Peyton Pritchard, you just mentioned. I've loved the playmaking. It's not flashy, but he's man. He has really just started to master this, getting into guys' bodies and forcing the defense to collapse and either getting his own shot, but it's just forcing guys to commit a little bit. And he's making very simple plays to Gaza in the dunker spot or shooters. He had 10 assists tonight to only 1 turnover. He was already averaging 5 assists to 1 turnover. He's
16, 6 and 5. Yeah. 16, 6 and 5.
Right.
With good defense, that's what you need from in this system and in this role. 16, 5 and 5 with good defense is all you need from your starting point guard.
What I love for him to hit shots.
Right. What I love for him to hit an open 3, absolutely. But like, if you're still going to find ways, what do we always say, right? Peyton Pritchard had to find a way to impact games when his 3 wasn't falling. Well, he's made like 2 threes all season, and he's impacting games through rebounding, through defense, and through play and through his passing. Like that is what a starting point guard does in the NBA. So you had tweeted out and I quote tweeted. I'm like, I feel like you and I are seeing something completely different. Like everyone's saying he's fumbling his role, and it's like confirmation that he can't start. And I'm sitting here like the guy's in a shooting slump, but everything else he's doing is exactly what you need from your starting guard in that role.
It's funny, like to contrast Peyton Pritchard and Anthony Simons. And Simons has been hitting more shots, but Peyton Pritchard to me has been playing so much better basketball compared to Anthony Simons. And the shot quality for Pritchard maybe is slightly worse, but to me, I haven't noticed a big difference. Eye test wise, I would maybe have a look at like open versus wide open versus contested. But
if anything, I would say his shot quality has improved because he's really made a knack to get in the paint, do the little spin fade away. Like he's getting to the line more. It's just, he just hasn't made his 3 and that's it. And Peyton Pritchard will eventually make his 3s.
Oh yeah.
Same thing with Derek White. So it's like, I know that, and I'm checking off all these other boxes that are very important for the test that they were having in this season in their new role. And it's like, if you were to just say the starting point guard, if Peyton Pritchard as a starting point guard averaged 16, 6 and 5, never turned it over and played good defense, you'd be like, holy shit, this is the starter we all wanted. And it's like
for $7 million.
That's happening, and you're getting it for $7 million. And it's like people are just thinking he's not fulfilling that role. It just seems like, now to his credit, Simons has made multiple huge fourth quarter threes in these last 2 games. So I almost feel like his role of an off-ball shooter, like that, he's doing great with that. If I have to ask him to initiate offense and be a playmaker, he struggled with that in the preseason, and he's struggled with that so far, I feel like, a little bit to start the year, and that's okay. His role can be the Peyton Pritchard off the bench off-ball shooter. Like, it's okay for them to have the roles that they're in, and I never understood why people are so quick to pull the plug, and then their justification is the opposite of how he's actually playing. It's just very interesting.
I'm guessing it's confirmation bias for people that wanted and believed Simons was either the better player or thought that he should be the starter coming into the season. So they're seeing the shots made. But what have been your Simons impressions so far? What do you have today? 14 points, 0 rebounds, 0
I think I've been
2 assists.
Underwhelmed offensively, but better than I expected defensively.
Okay.
So I don't know if that overall makes him
same.
The same. You know what I mean? It's like his shot is as expected, but I thought he would have been a little bit more of a dominant scorer. I feel like, I don't know. So that really hasn't translated, but I'm not seeing a guy that's statistically the worst defender in the NBA as a guard. Like, it definitely has not been that bad. So, I mean, I don't know what the
that's a good way to, that's a good way of putting it, because the defense hasn't been good, but it hasn't been, he looks like Trae Young. So
right. And what did we say when he came over is like, if you can get that to be passable,
30th percentile.
Right. Is the offense good enough to make that a worthy player? Now, do I think he's played his way onto a spot on this team in the future? God, no. Like the jury has not come back on him yet. But in terms of what I was expecting, the offense isn't really, maybe it's the passing, or maybe it's just, I've only really seen him hit open catch and shoot threes.
Yeah.
The offense has underwhelmed me, but the defense and the activity and the effort especially has really been better than I expected.
I want to give him some time. I have really not enjoyed watching him so far. Like, can't dribble, which is weird for a point guard or a guard.
Right, like he can't get over half court over ball pressure. Did not expect that. That's been the
big surprise. So what we've all watched the highlights throughout the offseason. Like, there's a million clips of him like splitting, pick and rolls, and then like finishing and dunking. He's taken 3 shots inside the restricted area. He got to the free throw line once tonight, but yeah, he's basically just been a catch and shoot guy. The playmaking's not really there because he's not able to like break his man down at all. And that was like on a team right now that's really struggling to
with shot creation. Yeah.
It would be nice if the taller, explosive like guard could do some of that, but he hasn't been able to. I'm wondering if he gets more comfortable, that'll come.
Now, do you know, I can't remember off the top of my head. I feel like I saw it, but there are lineups where Derek and Simons have shared the floor, right? Because in theory, you would think that Simons would be the on-ball creator in those lineups, but I feel like because he's not really doing it, it's now forcing Derek into that role, and that's what has things kind of out of whack a little bit.
I wonder if that is part of it, because he was supposed to be,
supposed to be your on-ball off,
Well, another one to share the load, at least to some degree. Well, this probably isn't updated so far tonight, but White and Simons in 59 minutes together coming in tonight were a negative 8.1 net rating. And the offense, that's been like, Simons on off has been overall bad, but the offense has also created when he's come on too. And they would have not thought that was
supposed to be his. Yes. But I do think some of that, the numbers are really loud and small sample. Like you have a good week in the first 10 games and things can look drastically different. I'm just thinking like, it wouldn't surprise me if the pressure of him not being as good of an on-ball creator is felt by Derek feeling like he needs to step up and take over while those lineups are on the floor, especially because Simons has been effective as an off-ball shooter. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I'm not going to let's set him up for success. He's new to the team. Let's get his confidence going. I'll just take the on-ball stuff. And then as a result, he's sort of sacrificing his own shot quality.
I mean, it's a fair point from a Tweelol in the chat, like giving C15 off the bench so far. That's solid. And on great efficiency wise, like that's a fair thing to say. But he's getting paid $27 million. And if you're happy with 15 points on like predominantly kind of catch and shoot stuff, it's like, well, is he just not higher paid Sam Hauser with worse defense? Because Sam Hauser tonight gave you 21 and much better rebounding and much better defense. Like
now it's tough because he is technically getting paid $27 million, but he will not be making $27 million.
Yeah, I was saying, not for long.
So it's like, should you reset your expectation based on what his new market price is going to be, as opposed to, a hometown rookie extension, that was the old CBA price. He may get mid-level, on the market, maybe, taxpayer mid-level, this time around.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I think that is fair. So I think the fact that he's in that new world where you project him to probably make somewhere between 6 and 15 then giving you 15 points off the bench
Mhm.
on good efficiency isn't the worst thing in the world. I have to think that some of the creation and downhill stuff gets going a little bit. Last bit here. The only thing from Joe I don't like right now in the last couple of games is why is Baylor Shireman getting his minutes and why aren't they going to Ugo Gonzalez or Jordan Walsh getting a chance as well? Like why is
Now here's the thing.
10 minutes every night.
I thought about this because I knew I knew this was going to be a point of contention for you. If we want to say this year is truly about auditions and throwing guys to the fire and seeing who can sink or swim, then that includes Baylor Shireman. And to his credit, in his 10 minutes, he's rebounded well. He's played okay defense. He hasn't really taken, poor shots. He hasn't really turned it over. He's a lot of cardio in those minutes. However, he did have 6 rebounds, I think, against the Pelicans. He had 3 or 4 tonight. Like, we can't say this year is about experimentation and then get mad when guys are giving a chance to show what they have. Now, I'm also with you, and I need way more Ugo. I'm like, it's bullshit to give me a little bit of Ugo.
I know the taste
away from me like that. Like, that's messed up. But the fact that that Baylor hasn't been a disaster in his minutes probably is what allowed him to continue to get the opportunity.
All fair points. When does Ugo and or Walsh get their chance? That's what I'm
right.
And I'm guessing it's going to come similar to how he started Ugo and then he started Minot the next night and it was like, well, obviously I'm starting Minot again. And
yeah, so that's done. So his spot
forever.
is done. Yeah.
So
you have that.
Yeah. It was like a 10
you have
game.
That final wing. Yeah, that final bench player, spot is up for grabs. Minot has asserted himself. Yep. Garza, he's a bit, I don't think you're going to play.
Someone has to play.
Someone has to be a center. So it's really between, Shireman, Ugo, and Walsh to just compete for that 10 to 15 minute role. And, Ugo flashed, but obviously he's a rookie. I don't know. Maybe I haven't necessarily seen anything that said he was not maximizing his minutes. And he got, I think, 3 or 4 today, but really only, one shift when the game actually mattered. So I just think it's going to be, maybe matchup dependent, maybe for games where they feel like the Cavs have shooters, making threes is at a premium. We want our shooting option on the floor against a team like Detroit who can't really shoot. Maybe that's the Ugo matchup so he can have the Cade minutes. So it wouldn't shock me if they go matchup dependent. Now, where Walsh fits into that is, I don't know, because he doesn't really give you shooting or defense. So it's like, how do you even find a spot for him? But I do think he deserves to see it.
He doesn't give you shooting or defense. What does he do? Well, neither does Baylor, though, really. So I'm hoping it's like 10 games. This is Baylor's shot at the 10 minutes a game. And then the next 10 games is going to be Jordan Walsh's shot at it, and then or it's Ugo, whatever. So I'm with you. I like to what's going on with Baylor, but you're right. If we are going to be serious, he's literally his second year in the NBA, even though he is 45 years old.
Right. And even if it's a flop, even if he fumbles it, you just need to know.
You have to see. Totally.
And if he fumbles it and it helps you lose the game, that doesn't hurt you. Fine. If he hits and it helps you win a game, that doesn't hurt you. So it's like, I'm with you. Like, I'm seeing him in both halves get the nod. And I'm just like, you gave us a taste of Ugo and it was unbelievable. And now we just are uncertain if he's going to play is a terrible way to be given his promise. But you just have to be okay with the experimentation. The same way, eventually, Amari Williams will get his shot when he's up from Maine. It's just, that's what this year is about.
Amari Williams, is he the future? Big man, we will find out. Greeny, it's good to be back.
Listen, 2 and 3. I mean, never did I think I would feel good at 2 and 3, but I kind of feel good at 2 and 3. I don't know. It's
not
messed
bad.
up.
It's good to see you. It's good to be back, everybody in the chat. Tomorrow, me, Spoonie, and Ben will be back to talk more about the game, talk about the next couple games coming up, and we'll go from there. Greenie, it's been a pleasure. Till next
All right,
time.
man. Next time.